is changing. Times are different. I remember growing up in a much different world than we live in today. Years ago, I had an accident, and my parents were surrounded by the love of this community. Food came in our house every day. On Sunday, the hall of the hospital was lined with people waiting to come see me. I'm so thankful for that world. I'm so thankful for those times, because now I find it very hard to raise children when there are so many outside influences. Technology has been a wonderful asset to society, but also a detriment. It's exposed our children at very young ages to things I didn't have exposure to until much later in life. It has taken away, in many instances, the innocence of youth. I look at the tragedy all around me. I see stories constantly on social media of children, little children, dying daily of horrible diseases and illnesses. As we're going through the adoption process and learning about these children of all races and ages in need of a forever home, I find myself shedding tear after tear. Some of these stories are so tragic, it makes me question, where was God when these horrible, horrible things were happening? In the past few years, I've watched two women I love bury their daughters. I've watched them suffer and anguish with their spouses, trying to hold on to every single memory, picture, and ounce of what's left behind. Why? They're wonderful women. They have hearts so full of love. Why did God do this to them? I look at my own life, at the many times I've doubted God. So many times I've been angry with him and just wanted to turn my back and take things in my own hands. He sure wasn't helping me, was he? We've all felt that way at times, haven't we? We've all asked why. Where are you? Do you even exist? By a show of hands, please participate, and let's be honest. How many of you, at some point in time, have questioned, even if just for a moment, God? Look around. This is what makes you human. Today, I come to you with good news, though. Here it is. God is alive. He's alive today. He was alive then. He rose from a grave, and he is alive for you and for me. He never left this world, and he never left your side. God did not create that mountain in front of you. He's not your enemy. He loves you. He loved you before you were ever born. He would never, ever, ever place that obstacle in your path. What he would do is help you climb that mountain and get to the other side. You don't need him to move it. You need him to hold your hand. You need him to carry you in those moments of weakness. I think of the famous footprints poem often, where God's child asks, why? Why did you leave me in those moments where there's only one set of footprints? And God replied, it was in those times I carried you, my child. I want to share a personal story with you, a personal confession. Confession's good for our souls, and this confession's become my testimony, so I feel like it's appropriate to share with you today. A little over 4 years ago, my husband and I decided to have a biological child together. We had it all perfectly planned out. Let's be honest, I had it perfectly planned out. I'm a woman, that's what I do. I plan. I had this amazing plan of getting pregnant on a certain day, having a baby at the end of the school year, so I'd have my summer off and return to teaching just before the baby was 3 months old. I had it all planned out. It was going to be perfect. I had her name picked out too, because I knew it was going to be a girl for sure, because that was my plan. I even read and researched how to time gender. The first 3 tests were negative. The 4th was positive, and I was elated and instantly spread the news. 2 days later, I had what they called an early miscarriage. The doctors couldn't explain it and told me these things happen. I couldn't understand. This was not my plan. Didn't they know I was already behind schedule? We found a new doctor and we continued on with our plans. By June, I was pregnant and so excited to share the news. Baby number 2 was also a miscarriage. And by the time we lost baby number 3, I was done with God. Why? Why was this happening to me? Was I a bad mom? Was I being punished? How could I finally meet the man of my dreams that God intended for me? How could I have 3 beautiful children blend like they were blood from the beginning, and God couldn't let us share the one thing our family wanted most? I screamed and I yelled. I had been humiliated physically. I was embarrassed and inadequate. Where was God? I remember being done with church. I was done attending baby showers, and I was done praying to a God who forgot me. I was lost. I gave up. No more doctors, tests, needles. I was done. My husband every night would pray for us, for our future baby, and for me to find my way back. He didn't give up. He would hold me while I cried and pray over me. This made me even angrier. Why wouldn't he see that God didn't exist? He wouldn't let up though. One night after he left for night shift and all the boys were in bed, I began to cry violently. My heart felt something that night. I prayed and I fell to the floor beside my bed, onto my knees, and I prayed more. I prayed to God, please forgive me. Please forgive me for setting my time. Forgive me for my anger, for my fear, and the hate in my heart. I literally raised my arms to heaven and said, I give it all to you. I asked him to please take control. Please do what was his will. I came to peace with God that night. I turned everything in my life over to him completely and without reservation. On Valentine's Day 2013, the 6-year anniversary of our very first date, I found out I was expecting. On October 22nd, a beautiful and very large baby boy was born at 11:22 a.m. My 6-week maternity leave went right up to Christmas break. I enjoyed the first 2.5 months at home with my baby in God's perfect time. I wouldn't trade a moment of those 39 weeks or a second with my precious baby boy. I share this story with you not to boast on what God did in my life, but to illustrate to you what he can do in yours when you give your heart completely to him. When you give your faith completely to him. God has a reason for all things: life, death, loss, joy, and confusion. There's a reason. We're not meant to understand it all. Are you a warrior? Stop. God says, turn it over to him. In him, all things are new. All things are good. And all things are holy. When is the last time you fell to your knees to pray? When was the last time you honestly, 110% turned everything over to God? If you think about it, it's been too long. Coming to church every week and smiling doesn't have anything to do with your heart. What's in your heart? What are your true priorities? Now is the time. Today is the day. God wants to have his light shine through you. Let his voice be heard in your words. Let his love be seen in your acts. You want to change the world? Trust in God, not people. People will always let you down. God will not forsake you. You are not in control. I'm going to be honest, I want control. I don't like flying because I want to be in control. I want to know what's going on every second. I want to know what's coming my way. I want to fix everyone and everything. But God says to let go and let him. You can't fix everyone, but he can. You can, however, get them to open their hearts. My husband prayed relentlessly for me, despite my moments of anger. He never let go. He let me open my heart. You can fall to your knees and pray today. You can show other people his love. Trust him. God has a plan, and it's better than yours. It's the best plan out there. He knows when your time here is ending. He says in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." God has a plan. Where is he? He's right here. No. He's alive. Let him shine. Ray said, born again. Let us be born again today. If you would open your hymnals to the front cover while we recite